your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another Snowbreak video. It's been a while since I last did one, and today I'm just going to be talking about my first impressions of the new Jade arc Chenxing that just came out tonight. Jade arc Chenxing is the new electric 5-star DPS character for Snowbreak Containment Zone. I currently have all of her neuronics unlocked. I got her 5-star weapon, the Skybreaker, which sounds pretty fucking cool. I also forgot to mention that she is a bow user, an actual bow user. I think the only other bow character we've got is Kadia, but she's more like a crossbow. Jade arc Chenxing is actually using a bow and arrow. For the build I currently got her, I obviously have her main logistics, the couplet set, with attack, crit damage, and electric damage bonus. I've only been playing Chenxing Jade arc for at least maybe like 45 minutes now, and I do think she's a pretty strong fucking character. She's definitely superior to her Ethereal Cloud version, so if you are still using her, you might as well just get the Jade arc version, because I do think that the Jade arc is vastly superior to the Ethereal Cloud. Who's to say that you can't use both on one team, but I do think Jade arc is vastly superior. She might be one of the strongest electric DPS characters that we've got at the moment. Since Jade arc is a DPS character, if you are a veteran player, you most likely have a ton of DPS characters by now. You should at least have 2 DPS characters by now if you are a veteran Snowbreak player. If you are a new player that just currently started Snowbreak Containment Zone, you didn't get your hands on Boo Boo, you don't really have that many DPS characters in your roster, I do think Jade arc is a pretty good pickup. She is very easy to play. You basically hit your E and then you Q every now and then. I can at least try to go a little bit in depth on how she works, but she is very relatively easy to play. Her E skill will basically rain down arrows on the enemies, and you know, those arrows, you can get them back through her ultimate, which does sound a little confusing. Whenever she applies arrows to the enemies, she will basically build up her ult gauge, or her ult doesn't really require any ult energy. She basically requires to hit the enemy with her arrows. If the enemy dies through her standard skill, she'll basically get some skill energy back, and I do believe her standard skill will also have a lower cooldown. She can also decrease her cooldown of the standard skill if she has an electrical weapon, and if you also have her neuronics unlocked. Her support skill can shock enemies, which is pretty good. If you team her up with her Ethereal Cloud version, you can basically paralyze enemies as much as you want, other than enemies that are immune to paralysis. Her standard skill also does receive ballistic damage bonuses, so you can pair her up with the 5-star Fenny Bride to get more of a ballistic damage boost. Co-op, she's gonna work well with any ballistic damage bonuses that you get from the buffs in co-op. I also believe her standard skill will basically get a 100% crit. So for logistics, I would recommend that you get at least some crit damage in her logistics. As I stated earlier, Jade arc is relatively easy to play. You E, you Q, you might left click every now and then if your E is on cooldown. Jade arc doesn't really have any real gimmicks other than the fact that her ult doesn't require any ult energy, so she's not going to work very well with Tess at all. Tess has been kind of fallen off recently, and that's mostly because the recent characters we get don't even require any ult energy, so Tess isn't really going to work very well with the recent characters that we've gotten. I would say that Jade arc is relatively strong. I would probably say that she's almost maybe equal to Boo Boo. However, I do think it's still a little too early to tell, since we are getting a free Yao this patch. Yao might be one of the best supports for Jade arc Chenxing. If that happens to be the case, then Chenxing could be potentially one of the strongest DPS characters we have, but since we don't have Yao yet, and I don't exactly know what the new Yao does, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But as of right now, I do think Chenxing Jade arc is relatively pretty strong. If you're looking for another DPS, if you're a new player, I can definitely say that you should pull for her. Jade Arc Chenxing's playstyle might not be for everybody. I do think Boo Boo is way more funner to play. Life is more funner to play. Cherno's more funner to play. Sirius is more funner to play. Although Jade Arc is way more funner than the Ethereal Cloud version. One of the problems I had with Ethereal Cloud is that her ults took way too long to get, and it's also like a very long animation. Sometimes I think the enemies can like get out of the way thanks to her long fucking animations. I don't know, it kind of feels like that sometimes. Anyways, if you're new to Snowbreak Containment Zone, I do think Jade Arc Chenxing is a really good pickup to play, especially since we're going to be getting a free Yao in the future. And that's all my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, and I will see you guys later.
Bye bye now. Come again soon.